Welcome back, Chosen here, and this wall isn't exactly a normal wall. As you can see, there's a couple of levers, and there's a couple of chests. But when I flip these levers, some magic actually happens. Yeah, we hear a few carts. So, no, I'm just messing with you guys today. Welcome back, Chosen Architect. I just wanted to kind of go over some things that I have been working on. I've been working through a couple of iterations that would kind of fit in our mine, and I was testing this out in a creative world, trying to see what I could come up with that would be a great smeltery array. And one that didn't use as many hoppers. This still uses quite a few hoppers, but not as many as several other builds that I have seen. Also, we can hide this behind a nice wall that gives us, quite a bit of functionality. And yes, I do know a little bit about redstone. It's not the greatest thing in the world here. Like, there's a couple of torches that could probably be situated like these torches don't have to be here. They could literally just go like this, but then again, I'm affecting that hopper. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this. But anyways, this is what I've kind of come up with. And this thing produces about 80 items a minute. And that's not a bad rate. It could be faster if these were just non-stop and never had a delay, but unfortunately, there is sort of a delay every 16 items, and the delay lasts, a couple of seconds here, you can see. So that short delay is the only thing that's kind of slowing things down, and that is honestly just the cart hitting this point, going back up, and then the delay of it being here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our mine, get all of our items ready, and that's right, we're going to build this in survival. So I hope you guys are ready. So off we go down our mine, and today, guys, we are going to be making that awesome setup minus a few things. We don't actually have a lot of the items that are going to be required, because kind of when you build in creative, you kind of go a little bit crazy. But what I can do is simplify that build down. Now, you can make it that large, but I'm going to be simplifying the build way down and only using 8. So really what it should do is cut our speed numbers in half, but that still is quite a lot. It's almost more than 1 item a second at that point. And may be a little bit more efficient because there may be less pause time, like I was talking about in the beginning. So it is still going to be pretty much the same thing when we look at it from the face, but for the most part, everything should be just about the same. So I did clear this out. A lot of this is lava over here, so this is kind of useless mining space. So I figured what I would do is take it, and we're going to convert this into a super smelter, or a mini super smelter, depending on what you want to call it. I'm going to call it my own personal super smelter, because this thing is going to be perfect for what we're going to be working on. All right, so getting this thing set up. Right, so I think right here is where I want my first input chest, and then we're gonna have 2 spaces right here. So these are gonna be the input chests, and then over here is going to be our collection chest. And we need to sort of get that situated first so we know exactly where that is going to be. It looks like we can go ahead and get that placed. And then we kind of have, like, literally the chest is going to go right here, like right next to our other chests. So this is where all of our items will be delivered. What we're going to have right here, though, is we're going to have a chest, or another block that's going to be right above it. That's going to allow us to access our chests, much like this. Right? And then our chests are going to go directly behind. So let's sort of get this thing set up so we can kind of visualize a little bit better. Right? So a chest is technically going to go right here. And we're going to space them just like this. They're going to go right next to one another. So there we go. And there's going to be a chest here, spaced just like that. But you're not going to see much of this because this is going to be covered, right? The front side is. All you're going to see is the sides of these chests, right? And then right here, we're going to have some levers. And then we're going to have some light indicators up there. Right, so let's go ahead and break this down so we see that visual. What we're going to put here is some redstone rails. Now, I am going to probably need to make more powered rails because these are just not going to work. And rails are a little finicky. We're going to need to mess around with the rails a little bit in order to get them to function 100%. The funny thing about rails is you have to kind of extend them a little bit in order for them to work properly. So you can see they will do this if you're not careful. And we don't want that to happen. We want to actually extend these. Then you can break the top and you can connect them. So that's what I want to do. I want to go and place these here. Let's go ahead and actually place these first. Here we go. We will place these rails here, making sure that they connect to one another. Not like that. Like that. These will also disconnect. We need to extend these like that. I always end up with this issue, but that can be solved by just extending it out one. Like this. And then break this. So that's how you get adjacent rails, one next to the other. And we're going to need this because this is the beginning part of how our whole system is going to function. So from this point, we're going to need to go ahead and start getting our furnaces set up. And once we have our furnaces sort of in place, we'll kind of know exactly where we need to arrange our items. But I do know that this is going to basically set out one block exactly. And then we're going to have a riser that is going to take this up 2 blocks. And our furnaces are actually going to set on top of blocks, sort of right along this block here. So we have 1 block here, 2, 3, and then 4, and then our furnaces are going to start. And they're going to go all along this area right here. So let's go ahead and grab our furnaces. And we also need a block to set them on. Actually, we can probably just go ahead and set up our hoppers. Hopper's going to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to have to mine into the wall a little bit. Yeah, I got a lot of people asking what those sounds were that they're hearing. And that's actually vanilla Minecraft sounds that are part of the cave system. So yeah, that's actually vanilla Minecraft. That's just the cave sounds that you're hearing. I know, it's not me. I'm not adding them in. That is just ambient sound that comes stocked with Minecraft. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because we are going to have 8 furnaces. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, what you could do is you're going to double this on the other side, which we may do eventually once we have more resources. We need a little bit more iron because we will need quite a bit more hoppers. Luckily, this hopper setup isn't that expensive. All right, so right here, we're going to go ahead and place these hoppers all in a line. What I can go ahead and do is get my hopper system routed to send these items all the way over here for us. We can probably go ahead and save a little bit on our hoppers by doing this little setup. We are going to route that. There we go. And now this is just going to funnel in a line. And what we can do is just go ahead and cover this with blocks, so we can kind of forget that they're even there. All right, so now that that's done and out of the way, we can kind of take a look now at the hoppers that need to go on the top. So yes, a lot of hoppers, I know, but we got to have hoppers all on the top here. All right, let's take our cobblestone, and here's where we are going to get our cart. We got to get our rail up this incline here, and to do that, we're just going to use normal rails. Just like that. And one of these rails are going to have to be changed. We're going to see if this doesn't work on its own, but more than likely it's not going to let the cart go all the way up. So we're gonna do some tests once we get that going. So here is where things get it's super simple. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna send our rails and keep placing them all along this guy. And then I'm going to go ahead and place rails extending off into this direction. And the reason I have to do that is, of course, we talked about it earlier, rails act really funny when they're next to one another. You can get some really weird things, because this is what happens if you mess up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and break this. What I want is I want the rail to go up. So in order to do that, I have to break these blocks. And I have to extend this out and then let them mess up right there. And this is where our blocks are kind of going to break. Perfect. And then we're going to set blocks right here. And basically the rail is going to go up. I need to go back, and then it's going to go slowly back and land in its braking position, which is down here. So hopefully this rail is enough to push this along. I don't think it is. So if it's not, we're going to have to place in right here or right here. We're probably going to place a powered rail just to make sure it can get up there and back. All right, so let's go ahead and place our blocks here, and we're going to need some buttons. You know what? I'm going to use stone buttons for right now, but we are going to change those. And we're going to have a creeper just blow up our base. You nasty creeper. Goodness. You know what? I can't have nice things. You know, all these creepers, I just can't have nice things. It's because of these guys. All right. He probably came from up there, to be honest. All right. So now that we have this done, let's go ahead and get our cart in. I'm just going to test it with one cart for right now. We're going to test, and if we push the button, does the cart make it all the way up and then hit that line? And then does it come back fast? And I know it's slow, but I think it being slow is better than it being fast. Okay. So that actually works. So we have a couple of things we can do. We need to test the other side just to make sure it is going to work as well. Let's go ahead and test the other side. I think it works a lot better. So what we have here is our fuel is going to go here, and then our main items are going to go here. So yes, perfect. It going slower is actually a lot better than it going faster. It'll distribute the items a lot smoother. Perfect. Oh wow, it knocks the hoppers out of the carts when you break it down like that. Forgive me if there's any like sound in the background as well, because it is kind of storming right now, and there's really not much I can do during the recording time. But anyways, all right. So next thing we got to do is kind of cover this up, and it's basically done, guys. That is a smelting array done. A lot simpler than what I just showed you, but the concept is still the same, right? Still keep the same concept. We can even put blocks here. I think that won't affect the cart. Actually, that might affect the cart. But we can close in this section. There's really no need to have this here. And yeah, we can keep this nice and compact. No need to have any of these side areas. There'll be no need for us. There shouldn't be any need for us to do maintenance or anything like that, because this thing should be self-sufficient. So I'm going to go ahead and show you why we're not going to use buttons. Buttons are going to make this thing not work. So what we need to do is actually use levers for this instead. And I'm trying my best to sort of enclose this and make it fit in with the rest of the wall. There we go. So yeah, I might leave some of this open. I did bring some glass to sort of encase this with. I think we can extend some glass maybe this way. I do hear a bad guy somewhere. Yeah, I did bring some glass, so we can go ahead and have some glass here so that way we can walk in and maybe see some stuff going on. I don't know. I figured that might be something cool. Let's go ahead. Maybe put a slab. I think I have some slabs nearby. Yeah. Throw some slabs down there. You know, we might make a little walking path up here, so that way we can, you know, get to our items. But for the most part, I kind of want it enclosed. Just like that. Perfect. Alright, so buttons and this can be removed because we're going to replace that with some different items. I'm going to go with stone blocks, I think, here. We do need to grab some levers. I don't know why that's on fire. You know what? Let's go ahead and... Since we already lost our logs anyways, might as well use these for some sticks. Goodness. Darn creepers just breaking everything. Let's grab those levers. The levers are going to go here. Now, This is very important because we want to be able to toggle this on and off, because it won't work if we just give it a lever input. And then the lights are going to tell us if this thing is on or off, which will also be kind of useful. You know, you never know. Never know when you need to know something. All right, we can go ahead and close the rest of this up. Bring this out. I can go ahead and leave this glass. That works fine. This side, not so much. Doesn't really work having glass there. But we can go ahead and place stairs here. And maybe fill this in with stone. Just to kind of, you know, give it some texture. I don't know. Maybe we can put glass here, but I just don't know how glass is actually going to look. I don't think it's going to help any here, other than making it symmetrical. Yeah, that's just not going to really do it for me. Other than just making it look symmetrical. That's really it. Alright, so this is our smelter. It isn't exactly centered because it is a 2x2 build. But I think it will definitely do just fine. So yeah, we can kind of close it in like this. Definitely don't want mobs in here, so let's throw a couple torches. So we do not want mobs to be spawning in this bad boy. Perfect. Throw a couple torches, make sure it stays nice and bright. And guys, we have a smeltery that is pretty much ready to go. All we need to do now is maybe get some signs, because this is the fuel side, and this right here is our stone side. So, with that being set up, wow, that was actually a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. But I did spend a lot of time sort of figuring out what would be the best setup. At least in my case, I don't want to go super complex, and I don't want to go, I mean, this is probably about as uncomplex as it can get, just using vanilla minecarts. But I do notice that, like, vanilla minecarts are super underused, and I think it's not only going to serve a purpose of, it's not going to serve a purpose of smelting items, it's also going to serve a purpose of making noise in our mine. And I really want that minecart sound, because sound is a big part of design, and I think the that is just going to add to the ambience of our underground area. And I honestly think that is going to set this off, this whole thing off. All right, so we have almost everything packed away. Try my best to keep my inventory somewhat organized. Here's our 2 carts ready to go. We need to go ahead and grab some fuel. So for right now, I'm going to grab a couple stacks, do 3 stacks for right now. And if you stop seeing items come out, it's probably because you're out of fuel. But luckily, this system will evenly distribute the fuel, and even if it gets backed up, you can leave it running, and it's still going to work. Your chest will just stay full. So if your chest is staying full, you don't have to worry about backup. You don't have to worry about overflow. Nothing like that. Everything should work perfectly. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and use this to smelt a lot of cobblestone. And we're going to see if this bad boy works. Let's go ahead and jump down. And yeah, hopefully this thing should work just fine. And really, what do we only use? What, 2 powered rails? Like, this thing is so simple. Oh yeah, they're coming from up there. I got to get up there and fix that area. Cannot be having that. All right, let's go ahead and place this. That's probably going to pick it up once I place the cart, right? Bummer. Oh, they moved back a little bit. Didn't want them to do that. Actually, don't know how that affects anything. Why do we have so many items? All right, let's go ahead and place this. Yeah, I can't place them now. Oh, I have too many items. Should have thought about that. I'm probably gonna have to do it from the other side, I bet. Yeah, this side. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and place the stone here. I'm gonna make the rails again because they pull the hoppers out. We'll place our hopper minecarts. Those are ready to go. Our upside down stair. Or sorry, this is a regular side stair. And then we need something to go on the bottom. Our 2 levers. Perfect. And then this side is our fuel. So we throw our fuel in. This side is our cobblestone or anything else we need to smelt. Doesn't really matter. And as soon as we think they are full, which honestly doesn't matter because it's always going to come back and it's going to restock. It may not restock fully, but it'll restock enough to fill these 8 machines. And so what we can do is flip this lever on, both of them. It's going to send the minecarts. Uh-oh, that one didn't seem to go very fast. I don't know if that was because of how it was placed. This is the problem that I was talking about earlier. I was hoping this wouldn't happen. Oh, this is where we're going to have to come in here for some maintenance. And then how far back did this one get stuck? Oh, just enough. I think it has something to do with it having items in it now. Wait, this one's actually getting stuck somewhere else. I'm pretty sure we tested this one right here. So I don't exactly know why it's getting stuck there. Yeah, because it was supposed to be doing this. Let's step back to the side for a minute. Just take a look. Make sure it's running properly. So that rail is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. This one's going too slow. Alright, so that's where a power rail is just going to have to come into play. Yeah, that time it seemed to work a lot better. I think just to be on the safe side, a powered rail is going to make this work a little bit better. So what we can do is flip this levers off. And once they fall back, they will land in their starting position and they'll be just fine. They should stop. Look at that. They should break. Perfect. And they land in their starting position. All right. So what I'm going to do is just put a powered rail here. Power it. I think the other side is perfectly fine. So there should be no need for that. Other than this, we can just leave them running. Let's see, that guy is going to be very slow coming back, even though he should be just fine. I don't know why it's stopping there. You know what? We're going to try something. We're going to try something. This may be absolutely crazy. But we're going to try and take this up one more. And see if that gives it that little bit more oomph that it needs to make its way back. That's all it needed. Doesn't even need this powered rail. Doesn't even need the powered rail. Just needed that little bit more oomph, I think. At least I thought it did. Maybe it does need that power rail. Let's see. Let's test it out a couple more times. Yeah, it definitely needs that powered rail. I was wrong. Definitely needs a powered rail there. What about you? What's wrong with you? The moment when you enjoy watching carts go back and forth. Alright, I'm going to shut this off. I think we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Just to be on the safe side. Like I said, you never know. We're going to break this, put a powered rail. Power it. And then over here, we're going to extend this. And give this a little bit more fun. This is where you run into those issues. Like, we have to fix this issue again. So, rails tend to want to do this. We don't want it to do that. We want it to do that. There we go. And then we can break the top. There we go. And then we gave it a little bit more oomph room. I guess you can call it. Whatever you guys want to call it. I have no idea. Alright. Are they going? Are they off on the races? They're off to the races. There we go. I thought I had my railcart systems intact, but I guess I was wrong. But that's where problem solving comes in handy. And there we go. Alright, so the only thing we need to do now, get some glass and fix our problem. So I feel sort of happy of actually coming up with an idea of my own and sort of not going with the norm and sort of finding someone else's build and going along with it. I kind of like this. I'm sure somebody along the line has actually made something very similar to this, but at least in my case, I did some work in, you know, in my creative world and was able to come up with a solution that I thought was a lot simpler than some of the other solutions that I had seen. So anyways, guys, this has been super fun to build. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Of course, I always learn something. Every time I jump into Minecraft, I always learn something new, and that's what I hope you guys do as well. I hope I inspire some of you guys to jump into Minecraft and to just try things out. That's all I ask for. That's all I strive for, guys. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, you guys know what to do. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next episode, and as always, thanks for watching.